remember how you held me then. Now you got me reaching out. And do you see you got me falling in more times than I can get out. Down in the deep of my mind, I crawl for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, how long do I got to keep you? Down in the deep of my mind.
Good morning, guys! Welcome back to the channel. How are you doing? It's been a couple of weeks since I've uploaded last, but rest assured I have been busy on the internet and I have been buying a lot of parts to carry on with the build. Today's episode will be finishing off the adapter plate which will hold the slave cylinder on the actual gearbox itself, and I've got some fuel injectors so I might stick them in the rails. So I've gotten some other bits and bobs as well. I've got this 2.5 inch cast elbow which will be going on the turbo here for going towards the intercooler. This fitting here, the threads on it were dodgy, I don't trust it, so I bought a little AN fitting. I could do a video on showing you how to fit them, but I'm sure you already know. This side I've got the exhaust flange on the turbo. This is just for the downpipe, and same with the wee flexi as well. That's just 3 inch, so check the neck of this place. While I was at it, I treated myself to a little pillar drill. That'll come in handy. So first things first, what I'll do is I'm going to try and get a little time lapse of me tidying this mess up before I start, the usual. There we go. Not perfect, but a lot better than it was. Anyway, here's a wee toy I've bought, and this is what we will be doing today. Also, I've always wanted one of these. This is a bead roller used for your intercooler pipes. It'll also do for doing the coolant pipes as well. Check all this piping. So we've got 3 inch stainless for an exhaust, 2.5 inch aluminium for the boost pipes, 32mm OD for the water pipes. There's some angle there, all the silicone joiners. Oh, and I forgot as well, got that turbo blanket to try and stop the heat going onto the rocker cover. Woohoo! So, first things first, this adapter here. What this adapter is it's going to let me use a concentric slave cylinder on the FD bell housing. The RX7 originally came with a pull type clutch. I machined this bit of aluminium. I got the aluminium block from eBay, I think it was £13. I chucked it in my uncle's lathe and I've made some grooves to match up with the grooves in here, which locks that in central. The next piece is this ring here. You can see that also sits in there central. That keeps everything completely aligned. What I've done here is I've cut a hole in the bell housing just so you can see what's happening. There's a spacer, there's a slave, and there's a clutch. This piece here will need to be compressed, so I had to get an adjustable one. I had to get a modified version with an extra spacer on top, and that is here. That one then I'll press against and be compressed against the clutch, so when I put my foot on the clutch it'll push the clutch itself. I've lined up basically these holes are what are going to locate these pieces here, and I've bought myself a new pillar drill and some drill bits for it. Yeah, they're quite cheap-ish ones, but I go through drill bits quite fast with the normal drill. However, I'm hoping with a press it'll be a little bit more efficient. Check this out here. Little spindles. Obviously you can change the speed by moving the belt up or down. Higher up the belt goes, the faster the speed is. The lower the belt goes, the lower the speed. I'll just keep it in the middle just now. Nice. It's relatively quiet. I'm sure the neighbours will love that. I've centre punched the holes I need to make, and now I need to tap that to 6mm, so I'll use a 5mm drill bit. A standard sort of rule of thumb to go with: if you're drilling say a 10mm hole, use a 9mm drill bit. 6mm hole, use a 5mm drill bit. You know, it's generally around about 1mm less than what you're actually wanting to tap. Apart from, I think when it goes to 12mm or even above that, it steps up a bit to 1.5mm less. So I think that gives it a little bit more meat on the thread itself. Sorted. So now I've got all three. I've given them a bit of a chamfer, 6mm bolt. You stick it in the vise just lightly. I've got my 6mm tap or M6 tap and a wee ratchet. I just tend to use these. I just find them a little bit better, easier to get it straight. Just give it a start off and just give it a check. Make sure it looks straight from all angles. Probably won't look straight to you guys on the old internet. So to watch with aluminium because it can grab and snap your bits. So if it's starting to get a wee bit stiff, click it backwards, knock it back a few turns. That tends to clear it out. I think that's us pretty much through. So wind it back again. Not sure if you can see this because the GoPro is not exactly good for close-up stuff, but now. So, 2 more to do, and then we'll see if the sleeve will bolt on. That's them all tapped now, so what I'm going to do is hopefully this fits on. This is orientated, so the holes look like they're going to line up. So, let me put you there in a wee second. So far, so good. Oh yeah, here. Sorted, man. Good old engineer's blue. So it's sort of looking like I know what I'm doing here, eh? Right, so I'm going to measure this out and I'm going to circle a ring right around the outside, and then I'm going to line up the holes with the original piece that was in the gearbox, so the bolt holes should be relatively in the same place. These are M8 bolts, however the head of these is 13mm, so obviously that's going to sit up and protrude. So what I'll actually do is I'll drill through the 8mm holes, and then I'll actually drill through again with 13 to countersink these. However, it will step into this lip here slightly, so we're not, I'm not sure if it's going to come up with any problems or not, but I'm sure if we countersink it enough, it should be okay. There we have it. All ready to be bolted at the car. It's still dark outside, so I'm not going to do it just now, and it's bloody freezing. I'm going to take this time just now to clean down the drill and clean up the bench, and when that's done, we'll stick some injectors in the fuel rail. I want to put in spark plugs. I've got spark plugs up there, so we're going to stick some in there. I went for BKR9EIX, so sort of the iridium plugs. I'll double check as well because we might have to gap them. I probably put them down to about 0.8 of a mil, just because we're running boost, helps a bit, prolongs life of coils and stops any sort of misfire. You can take it down to 0.6, but only if I was kind of running in bigger boost, but 0.8 of a mil is what I'm happy with. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take off these two. These are two 12mm bolts, and we're going to pull off the fuel rail. So one. Sorted. This is this fuel rail I'm on about. Proper impressed with it. Yeah, I can't believe you could buy this for 15 quid. It's 1/2 inch inside diameter, so it's hefty flow. That's an AN8 I'm using to feed it to one side, and an AN6 will be from the other side to the regulator. Here's the injectors. These are Bosch EV14s. They're 1000cc injectors, and they come from a company called CP Injection, or CP Fuel Injection. Here is the battery offset milliseconds. The stock fuel injectors should just pull out relatively easy. You can see there, and this thing's as well. And yeah, as you can see, the O-ring heights are exactly the same size. So these will be sort of plug and play. Talking about plugs, these are the injector plugs I'll be soldering into the loom. They just came free with it to match the injectors themselves. Should be able to feed these back on. Just give them a bit of a guide. Make sure they're all straight. Push. Perfect. Plugs are now gapped. They are gapped to, I end up just going down to 0.6mm, so and that's what I'm happy with. So let's get these fired into the car. I say car, into the rocker cover I suppose, or into the engine. Oh yeah, bastard! Come on. Set these down here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get the impact gun on them. I'm gonna have to start hurrying up. This GoPro battery is almost dead again. That's the other thing actually. I think one of my next investments is going to be a new camera. Just to give you guys a little bit more detail and sort of the stuff I'm doing, because some of the close-up shots are pish. So I'm thinking of the new Canon, or so it's not really new, but the Canon G7X Mark II seems to be what most folk use. So, and yeah. Anyway, here I'm just cracked off the bolts for the VTC solenoid. I'm going to take this off and I'm going to replace it with the new one, because as you can see at the top there, I snapped the plug off the sensor. What a dick, eh? So yeah, I'll whip that off, and I've got new hardware for that actually. This is from a company called MJC in the UK, and yeah, they give you a wee dress up kit, so nice purple bits and some nice stainless bolts, and obviously we'll torque all that up the way it should be. And actually the VTC spool valve, is that what they call it? The spool valve? Or whatever it's called. This was actually supplied by Ben Powel. He breaks cars, the guys I was on about in the last sort of video, so he gave me this undercover as well, and I'll give that a bit of a clean up and stick it on the car. There we have it, nice and shiny. Probably the cleanest part of this car now. I suppose that'll do it for this video today. Again, these are all things that you've probably done a million times, so I don't want to teach you how to suck eggs. So yeah, much appreciated for watching, guys. Thank you for joining in and comments, giving me tips and tricks and your opinion on stuff as well. I mean, it's all valued. Right guys, yeah, so we'll catch you later.